And there we are. Hello, welcome to the craft room. I am the crime scene knitter. My name is Heather, and we are filming from a different angle today. I wanted to do a floor goblin episode because I have all of the stuff I want to talk about laid out before me on the floor, and it would have been too much work, I think, to get it all up on the desk. So welcome, hello. My name is Heather, like I said, and this is my knitting, yarn hoarding, crocheting podcast. And today I have some really fun stuff to show you guys because we just had the DFW yarn crawl this past week. I think it is complete now. I think Sunday was the last day. I can't remember. Anyways, I'm finished with the yarn crawl. And some of you may be noticing that there is no footage of me shopping and crawling. I did not film that this year because I didn't feel like it. So there's that. But I wanted to show you guys my yarn haul, and I have some FOs that I need to show you so that I can take them off of my finished object chair back and put them somewhere else. So without further ado, my assistant Mochi behind of me is going to be helping. I think you can see her from all the way over there. I'm not sure. This, like I said, this is a new angle, and I wonder if maybe I should bring you closer. Let's see. Closer, closer. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. What do you think, Moch? Okay. So, the first store that I want to go over, because I think this was the store that I bought the most stuff at, was Fiber Circle. This crawl this year in particular was really, really special and fun for me because one of my very best friends came and crawled with me, and so that was the other reason why I did not film, because I wanted to spend time with my friend. And so it was fun. She's never been to any of these stores. She has never yarn crawled before, and it was a phenomenal experience. Everyone was so lovely to both of us, and mostly to her because she's the newbie. She's the fun, new one. And it was just really, really lovely. We had a wonderful time. We hit all the stores. We bought so much stuff. We ate so much food. It was just really, really good. So anyways, Fiber Circle. I went to Fiber Circle, and I looked through their book magazine section area, and I found another Vogue knitting that I did not have, so I'm excited about that because I do collect these Vogue knittings. Early fall 2015. Pretty sure I don't have this one. I'm gonna hope that I don't have that one. And I also found a book, and I am becoming more picky now about which books I want in my collection, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to go through my books sometime here shortly and sort of weed out the ones that I don't think I'm going to use. But I bought this book because I loved the pattern on the front of it. So, excuse me, that sweater in particular, I just really was tickled by, and I thought, what a lovely way to use up some minis. And I am actually in the market to use up some minis, these ones and others as well. So I looked at the other patterns. I wasn't they're all beautiful. They're all really, really beautiful, sort of vintagey patterns. None of them jumped out to me quite as much as the first one, but I figured, well, that I'll get the book so that I can have that first pattern. So that's the first thing I got. The next thing that I did was I made my very first Noro purchase. I have never purchased Noro before in my life. I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to find the perfect color. I don't have a pattern picked out yet, but I did find my color. I got 3 skeins of this Noro. Coreo Patora is the name there, and that's the color. You can see green, obviously green, and some red and a little bit of blue. And I'm very excited for that. This one is just wound a little bit differently. because it really makes me think of carnivorous plants. And for whatever reason, I am on a carnivorous plant kick right now. I love carnivorous plants. I want to draw them. I want to grow them. I want to have them tattooed on me. I want to work with the colors. That's like just very much where I am right now. So I bought 3 skeins of that, and I bought 2 skeins of Ella Ray Lace Merino Chunky, and I think this color is called True Green. So, behold. And the reason why I bought this is because I love green, but also it is because one of my other purchases from Quixotic is kind of a similar green tone to this, although I think the twist is a bit different now that I'm looking at it. But notwithstanding, I want to make my Waiting for Rain. I've been waiting too long for Waiting for Rain. I have needed chunky, bright poppy green yarn, and I think this will help reach my goal with the other yarn that I bought from Quixotic, because I didn't quite have enough in the color I wanted from Quixotic, so this is going to fill me in on that end. And then I do believe that some yarn that I purchased last year is going to be my other yarn for that particular project, and I will speak more on that project at a later date when I've actually got it on the needles and have made some sort of appreciable progress. I've been talking about that project forever. I have been searching for yarn for it forever. I have swatched and I have not liked the swatches, so it's kind of like my white whale at this point. But I think now I have it. I think I have it, so yay. This is the pin that I got, and I'm going to try to do an ab workout here and zoom in a little bit. Everybody's pins were very tiny this year, which, with the exception of, I think, Juju and Denton Yarn Works. Oh, and Yarn Therapy as well. They did the bigger ones, but that's okay. I honestly probably wouldn't have collected pins for this year if my friend had not come with me, because I have so many pins from these stores over the years doing all of these crawls. I don't need more pins, but it's like a memory with her now. So the other things that I got, I have a wrist yarn holder and tabletop spinner, and this came free with my purchase from Fiber Circle, which is very, very nice. And I couldn't resist. I found this Celtic little shawl pin, and I'm gonna have to do an ab workout again. So it's shiny, but you can see it in there. I just thought that was so beautiful, and I love Celtic things. So that was also a purchase that I made. And okay, so that was the biggest one. That was the store where I purchased most from, I believe. Yeah. Okay. So next store, and these are very much out of order from how we went, how we traveled through them. So that's, yeah. Okay. Train of thought, back on track. Next, we'll go over On the Lamb. On the Lamb is one of my favorite stores. I love them so much. Here's their pin. And we'll try to show. Maybe that focused, maybe it didn't. I don't know. I feel like you're still not close enough. Okay. It is difficult because I truly do have just a bunch of stuff on the floor. Make sure you can still see the cat. She's minimally interested at this point. Okay, so here's On the Lamb. Here's their little pin. Focus. There it is. Okay. So I just got a sock set from there, and I didn't have a choice. You will notice this year there are a lot of green purchases that I made. Ooh, bags under my eyes too. Don't look at the bags, look at the yarn. So I got this really beautiful sock set. It is from Holly Dye Works. Cute label, by the way. Really cute label. I like that. This is the Pine Twist sock set. The color is Key Lime Pie, which I think is appropriate. And I might make this color work in a sweater. I already have a sweater's quantity of a solid background that's kind of like tweedy, and so that's my plan for this. Here you go, Mochi. Okay, next. This one's right next to me. I did go to Yarn and You. I got one of their really, really cute gay sheep pins. Lovely. And I only bought one skein from that store, but it's super beautiful. And when I tried to photograph this, it blew the camera out really bad, and it wasn't quite true to real life what the color was. So I'm gonna hope that it comes through. But it's this really, really deep red, orange red, and it's got the holographic sparkle through it. So my plan with this one is probably a part of a shawl. I think this is really going to pop as some part of a shawl. I have a bunch of other skeins I can pair this with. I also don't have a pattern for this in mind. But am I boring you? Yeah. We should do this with Mochi more. She's having fun. The next thing that I did is I went to Fiber Lady, and I didn't buy anything from Fiber Lady, but I did sign up for one of the door prizes, and I won, which is crazy because I may have won a door prize, but if I have on the Fiberfest the Yarn Crawl, I don't remember it. I do have the memory of a goldfish, so take that, grain of salt with that, but I won a door prize. So here's the pin for Fiber Lady this year. Very cute. And my door prize came in a Cascade Yarns bag. I was told that Cascade Yarns gave a bunch of these bags out to the different stores for door prizes and giveaways and things. So that was nice. It came with a pattern for a hat, which is very cute. I might make it. We'll see. We'll see if it tickles my fancy later. And the yarn that I won, I got 2 skeins from Cascade. I've got Resolve and I've got the Pure Alpaca. And I will say this, these are both very, very soft. So the Resolve is nylon and alpaca, and then this one is 100% baby alpaca. I am very happy, and I've noticed that a lot of stores carry lots of options for Cascade yarns, particularly this year, and I was kind of impressed with the selection. Not sponsored, I don't do sponsors, but I was kind of impressed and got to thinking, well, hey, maybe if I wanted to make something that was a little more budgetarily friendly, like a sweater's quantity that didn't cost me an arm and a leg, there's a lot of good options with Cascade. I did also see a lot of Rowan yarn too, and I thought that was nice. So for whatever it's worth. And then I also won some Fiber Lady brand yarn, which is just completely going to blow out. This is the 100% bamboo yarn Makimo yarn, and it's in these really pale pastel colors. Very Easter, very spring. There's green, pink, yellow, and blue. And somewhat famously, I don't really love the texture of bamboo yarn. That being said, I almost feel like I have to make something just to try it, because in all honesty, I have not so much as even made a swatch of bamboo. So maybe this is my sign from the yarn gods. I need to make a swatch. I need to try it. I need to feel it. Maybe I'll make a little scarflet or something and base my dislike of bamboo yarn on something more concrete than I don't like how it feels in the store. So I might do that. Maybe I'll just do a test swatch and then gift this to a friend or something. I don't know. I haven't decided. Put that over with bags. Next, I will do Knit Dallas. I so enjoy shopping at Knit Dallas. I love them. Didn't get a ton from that store this time, but I got a pin. Hi, Mochi. Oh, that's nice. She's just licking her little bottom on my channel. So there's a little pin with a cute little boot. I feel like I need to censor my cat's bottom out. And I just got buttons, little sheepy buttons. I thought they were the cutest, and they'll go with everything that I make, probably. So there's buttons. Next, This yarn I'm very excited about. So this was a purchase I made from Yarn Therapy. They are one of the newer stores on the Yarn Crawl. I think the owner said that they were open since October of last year, if I'm remembering correctly. I may not be. But anyways, there's their pin. And this is what I bought. It's not quite that light in real life. I think my light is blowing it out a little bit. But this is alpaca. It's worsted alpaca merino. And it is from a local flock of alpaca farmer. Dayton or Dalton is the name of the alpaca that this came from. This is undyed. This is the color of the alpaca. And it's 90% alpaca, 10% merino. I've got 77 grams here, 3 ply, so it's about 200 yards. So my plans for this are to make a cowl because it's very soft and I think it would be nice next to my face, on my neck, something of similar location. Okay. Now everything's further away and I have to reach. Ooh. Who's next? Oh, so I went to Lone Star and I didn't actually buy anything from them. That was the only store this year that I did not make a purchase from. Certainly not for lack of wonderful things to purchase. I just didn't. So I don't have a good reason. I just didn't. Okay, there. Now everything's close. Okay, so next let's go over my purchase from U2 Yarn. Oops, as I throw the pin on the floor. This is going so well. I threw it on the floor again. You know what? It wants to be on the floor and we need to respect that. Okay. There we are. Very pretty. I love that logo. It's so pretty. Simple. Botanical. I got 3 skeins of Mota yarn. And mostly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, mostly the reason why is because of this color green. Yes, I already have this color in my stash. I know that. I'm aware. I have eyes. I can see. But I love it and I wanted more, so I bought more. Really, really beautiful. And it's got this light, it's light, woolly. It makes me think of the Natura de Rerum brand where it's very, very light. It's woolly, but it's not scratchy. I adore that brand. That's one of my new favorite brands of yarn, and this kind of reminded me of that. So here we are. It's Wool Dreamers. That's the company, Wool Dreamers. No son gigantes, son molinos. I don't know what that means. My Spanish is so bad now. I used to have kind of passable high school level Spanish, and now, gone. So if anybody knows what that means, let me know. But I got three skeins of that. Igavochi. I'm just building her a nest of yarn. And I went ahead and got some of the Moroccan red clay soap that they offer in the store. I really love having fancy soaps, but I don't buy them very often. And I've been fancy soapless for a while, so I bought one of these. And it's a citrus blend. It's very subtle, the smell right now, but I think maybe if you get it wet and you wash with it, then it will smell more. So, bought that. Next, let's do McKinney Knittery. So the McKinney Knittery actually, counter to my character, I didn't buy a ton from the McKinney Knittery. They had a really cute little howdy button this year. I bought fabric. I know, crazy. Heather, do you sew? Does the Crime Scene Knitter also Crime Scene sew? No, I don't. In reality, I had no business buying this. None. No business. I don't sew. I don't have a sewing machine. I really don't want to get into quilting. Somehow I foresee that in my future, somewhat against my will. My grandma quilted with very great skill, and she quilted a lot. So, but I crocheted this frog purse, and I decided I wanted to line the frog purse. So this is what I bought, just like a fat quarter to line the frog purse. So next time I go to knit night, one of my friends told me they'd help me line the frog purse. I very likely will do this by hand. because I don't have a sewing machine. But that's okay. If it's lumpy and weird, it's fine because I've never done this before. Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever. I guess that's trash. So yeah, I guess I've started my fabric stash. Oh Lord, have mercy. I did, however, win something, was given something, was chatting with Ginger. She's the owner of the store, and she's lovely. If you've never met her, you're missing out. She's a wonderful person. Chatting and introduced my friend who is new to the yarn crawl, who has never yarn crawled before. And so Ginger ran before we left and gave us another bag of the Cascade yarn, I guess the door prize, the giveaway, the extra, the handout yarn. And I got these really lovely skeins of Eco Merino DK in sort of an undyed color. They are 100% merino wool, and they feel really, really nice. I don't know how much these skeins retail for. I'm gonna guess it's in the ballpark of $13 or so, somewhere, $12, $13, but there was no price on them, so I don't know. And it came with a mitten pattern, which I think is fun because I've actually never made a pair of mittens. I have made pairs of gloves, fingerless gloves usually, but not mittens. So I'm kind of excited to try that and see how I like the yarn. So that's that. Mochi's like, where are you putting that? Where is that yarn going? Another purchase that I made, that's a larger purchase that I am very excited about. Ooh, I made from Juju Knits. There we go. There's their little pin. I also love this logo. And I bought a sweater's quantity of periwinkle wool. I'm very excited. Excuse me again. This is Queensland Collection Falkland Worsted. And it is, hi Pancho. It is the color Lilac, number 35. So for your viewing pleasure, and this is another color that's just kind of difficult for the camera to get. Hi baby, I have a kitten. Hi sweet baby. You can see her tail. But yeah, this is a color that gets blown up by the camera. I've really wanted a periwinkle sweater. I've been thinking about it, and that was one of the things I was shopping for and searching for this yarn crawl. And I found it, and it's beautiful, and I love it. So I'm gonna make a sweater out of this. What kind of sweater, you say? Well, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't have a pattern in mind. Mochi, can you hold that for Mama? Yeah. So it'll come to me. I have every confidence. Next, I went to West 7th Wool, and guys, I need to start, like 1 year, I need to make West 7th my first stop, not one of my last ones, because by the time I get there, I've already spent a fair amount of my money, but I really want to buy stuff from them, particularly their in-house brand I find very, very fetching. I do have some of it, but I'd love a sweater's quantity from them one day. Anyways, Yarn Co. This is Primrose yarn. And this is what I bought from West 7th. It's beautiful. It's green. I understand. It's predominantly green. It is Spring Fling is the color. It's the Homestead Sport. I just envision this being color work for a sweater. That's kind of what I think. And then I wound up getting some leaf-shaped needle stoppers, stitch stoppers. Oops. Which I have also thrown on the floor. So we are par for the course here. And I'll put that there. Okay. Next, Quixotic. So I made a big purchase from Quixotic. It's the size of my head, really. Like yeah. And I am going to make my Waiting for Rain with this because this is a really bright, that was intense. This is a really bright, it's like a Kelly green almost. It is their in-house brand. Rambo is the base. Rambouillet wool, superwash. Makes sense in order to get that punchy color. And the colorway is Tree Frog, which, yeah. Also green, I know. It's another, somebody needs to keep a tally. Take a drink every time Heather purchases green yarn. Don't do that. You'll get sick. Okay. So anyways, this with the yarn that I bought from the Ella Ray from Fiber Circle will create half of my Waiting for Rain shawl. Waiting for Rain is a lace weight shawl, but mine won't be. And I'll show y'all what that'll look like later when I get started. Oof. Oh, and their pin. So this is the pin I got. It's the little quixotic guy knitting, very classy, very nice. I got a sticker, Be Nice or Leaf. It's very cute. I enjoy that. And I also found a Vogue knitting issue, one of the older ones. Look at this classy lady with her classy hood and her classy glasses and her classy hand knit sweater. I like looking at these. So that's that. And my last purchase I have to show you guys is from one of the newer stores, Denton Yarn Works. They were difficult to locate, not because I couldn't find the area they were in per se, but because the signage on the side of the road left something to be desired. I couldn't see that they had one of those flag signs in gray of all colors on the side of the road, and it was sort of in the wind, and it had just rotated enough that you could see the stick that was kind of holding the flag up, but you couldn't read the sign, so we had to circle a few times to find them. We found them. It's fine. It's a cute little store. They've got some good stuff, good selection, but yeah. So there's their pin. I'm trying to get it without the glare. That's the pin. Okay. And I didn't make a huge purchase from them. I just got a couple of little things. I got some Linus du Nord art sock yarn. If you're French, I apologize. I am not. I will always pronounce French things wrongly. I think it's genetic at this point. And I bought this because I have made a pair of socks out of this yarn, different colorway, and I really, really love them. So I will do that again. I will make myself another pair of socks. So I put this there. And I added to my doodle deck collection. I've got 2 doodle decks now. I have the Cryptids one and I have Spring doodle deck now. And I chose that mostly because they have snails, and I fucking love snails, but also because all of these sort of floral patterns I think are patterns that I will use a lot. So, and the last thing I have to show you in terms of acquisitions is a cheeky purchase that I made pre-Yarn Crawl. I got a new project bag from Ms. Babs. All Knit Up Designs is the maker of this, and it's gnomes, and I love gnomes, and it's green. So, you know, sometimes these things happen to me. And that is all of my Fiberfest purchases. Okay, here we are. I'm back. So, FOs first and then whips. I don't have that many that I'm actively working on, so it should go by quickly. I finished my Rivendell pullover that I can't get front side. Here we go. Finished. Hooray. I love it. I have just the tiniest concern about the blocking, how blocking went. I knew it was going to grow, and I did want something that was kind of like just a touch oversized. The sleeves did kind of get a little bit baggy, particularly around the cuff area, and I'm still kind of like sussing out if I care or if that bothers me. But everything else blocked really beautifully. The cables, I think, are gorgeous. It's just a little bit cropped. I like the color, the yarn, everything else is fine. It literally just blocked out a little bit more. And I didn't do a swatch. I didn't block a swatch, and that's on me. So yeah, but I do really love this. I worked really hard for this sweater. If you watched any of my other videos, you know. So that's done. I am pleased with it. Yarn used up out of the stash that had been sat in the stash for a considerable amount of time. The other thing that I finished was my poncho. It was going to be a poncho. Now it is a crop top, like a cover up sort of thing. And I made this out of yarn. I can't remember what it's called, but I made it into a poncho and it stopped here because I had a picot bind off. It's kind of hard to see because it's in the black yarn. And it looked awful. It looked like a clown collar, and I know that some people like clown collars. I don't. I do also notice, I think, is this the German flag colors? This feels German. My mother was German, so I guess that's appropriate. I don't know. But I like it better as a top because it pulled down the floof. The other thing is that it was really kind of fluffy, and it's sort of like, you know, panoramic, dished out, and I didn't like that. So now it fits, it's sort of like fitted down around my waistline. I found another skein of the black, so that's why I was able to do this. Otherwise I would have had to rip it all out and it would have made me very, very sad. So anyways, now it's done. It's just a raglan top. It was supposed to be a raglan poncho, but it didn't work out that way. So sometimes the project tells you what it wants to be and what it doesn't want to be, and this project didn't want to be a poncho. So there we have it. I have finished another of my scarf shawls, my Lion Brand Mandala collection shawls. I've had this finished for a really long time. It just goes to show how long I've gone without podcasting. It's been a really long time. So now you've seen this one. This is the Loch Ness colorway. I have 2 skeins of this left. And then I will once again have every single color that they've made in Lion Brand Mandala, the original line. Please, please, oh God, do not make any more colors. Please, I beg of you. I have like 40 of these. Okay. And that was for Lion Brand. They did great. They killed it. Now they can stop. Okay. This is my newest FO. I think this is the back. Yes. So this is a sweater. It is a flax worsted, which is a free pattern, I believe, from Tin Can Knitworks. And it is made in pinwheel, which I think is actually Cascade. I think it's a Cascade pinwheel. Let's see. It is, yes, Cascade pinwheel, which is one of their discontinued lines. I found it at Fiber Circle. If you are looking for discontinued, particularly acrylics, that's where you should go, because if anyone has them, she does. And I just loved this color. I actually really love pinwheel. I was sad to find that it was discontinued, and I knew that I wanted something for me in it. I had made a friend a scarf in Cascade pinwheel, and I loved it. I wanted to keep it, but I didn't. So this was for me. It's not blocked, so the ribbing on the bottom is kind of trying to curl. I do need to block it, but this is it. I really like the fit. I love the colors. It's going to be so nice when it's not 90 degrees with humidity out. Overall, I'm just very, very pleased with how this turned out. And I'm going to leave this one out now because I gotta block this one. Got to. And I'm going to have to steam block it because it is an acrylic blend. So I'm going to have to devote some time to that. But that's okay. I have 2 whips that I'm currently working on that actually see progress from time to time. One of them is a pair of socks. I am on the 2nd sock. This is the 1st sock. I tried to do a ruffle at the sort of top hem. It looks weird, so I'm not going to use this pattern again. I say pattern. I made this up. I made this up and I made it weird. So I'm not doing that again, but I'm just going to finish the other sock and make it the way that the first one is, because I'm not ripping this out. So I just turned my heel on the 2nd sock. So more than halfway done. I'd say we're about 75-80% done on that one. And that's my travel and go project. My other project that I'm working right now is my 4th sweater this year, which is crazy. And right now, it's an amazing little whip. You want to see what I have? This is my sweater. This is it. I had to rip it out because I didn't like how the color was pooling. So that's exciting. I am making the Cozy Romance sweater by Essence of Autumn. I think she wrote this pattern, and I am using her yarn. I am using the hand-dyed yarn Essence of Autumn, let's see, Cozy Merino Boucle in Bee Pollen, which is this color, and in, wait a minute, Spring in Autumn. So I guess that's the colorway, Spring in Autumn. Really, really beautiful. I love the boucle. I love the colors. I love this yarn. It has been in my stash for a really long time. And so I am going through, and when I find a sweater's quantity of yarn and I already have a sweater planned out for it, that's what I'm kind of focusing on right now. I'm like, okay, I already know, I already have it, I already know, let's just knit, let's just go. I'm trying to whittle down my stash, which is funny considering I just showed you guys all the yarn I bought. I am also attempting to do kind of like a big stash down project. So I've been gifting yarn, I've been donating yarn, I've been getting rid of things, I've been trying to mindfully purchase. I need to do another tally, so next time I do a video we'll probably be addressing that and then potentially talking about other projects that I want to start. But for now, we're just at, I think, almost an hour, so that's pretty long. I haven't done a long episode like that in forever. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Have a lovely weekend, and stay crafty, my friends. Okay, bye.